hard to describe this stuff. It just feels, you just know, just at bone level, man. Like, I think that's where the deepest healing happens, is when you kind of can get into that bone level and shift stuff and change it, because that's where the attachment is, the origin is of the suffering, the pain.
Hey guys, Darcy Ninja here from MMT. Today we're going to treat Ninja's hand. So he's been a practitioner for over 20 years now, and using his hands every day, all day, for a million days probably, all up. And it's time to give him a little bit of love. Do you want to give us any background on where you get sore or what?
Yeah, like, I suppose it's the interesting thing is looking at my thumb, the comparison. Like, they're like two different humans, and like just real thick through here as well. The thumbnail is just real thick, and but this through here, I think I damaged that playing basketball, footy, I think, and then it got really strong in that position, so it's kind of a bit out. But yeah, this is where I kind of get through that crease, and I kind of do crack it mid-treatment sometimes, just to
get some relief,
and then keep on going. So
look at the size difference in our thumbs. Yours is much thicker, hey?
So I just smashed it.
Look at even the nail.
Yeah.
I've got pretty small hands. Doesn't mean anything, just small gloves, mate, small gloves.
That's it, that's all it is.
All right. Okay, so what we'll start with is maybe just working that joint to begin with. So using my thumb and just collecting some of the build-up that I guess builds up around that joint. So there can be calcium, there can be fluid, any little barnacles on that bone.
Just there, man.
Just there. So right away, it doesn't take long for me to be able to connect. And what's interesting about this spot is I'm actually sitting in between the joint. So I can feel right there, it's where the two bones meet. And so working this and just melting that down is going to encourage some fluid in there. Our body's own WD-40, which in Australia is that stuff you spray on your bike chain or anything that squeaks, your door handles, your hinges. We've got synovial fluid in our body that is either brought to that joint when we treat it, or it freezes up, dries up, becomes scarred or dried up. So we're hydrating this exact tendon or joint, and I'm just pushing down or across and finding where the sore spots are.
It's good, man. I reckon you just work on that joint for an hour.
It feels good.
Yeah,
cool, man.
Probably, something I've neglected, or just I've done a bit of work on it myself, but yeah, not much. You know? Yeah, I can really sense that. Yeah, this is really good. There's a knowing that it's clearing some of my build up gunk over time.
Yeah.
And it feels good.
Yeah. So yeah, 20 plus years of treating, man. And you said you injured this playing basketball. How many years ago was that?
It's probably over 20. So this is the 25th year I've been treating.
Year.
Yeah. I got a story because like when I was playing basketball, I remember I was kind of, how you get the triangle and you're kind of trying to guard kind of the triangle.
Yep.
Someone did this pass where they kind of flipped it, and my thumb was out straight like that, and the ball went straight into the end of my thumb, this right thumb here, and I went like this, and then that didn't actually hurt, but it was like I punched the ball straight out of bounds. I think it went
flying.
Yeah, my thumb was so strong, it just went boink straight off. So I have strength. I've got a strong thumb. I suppose that's what I'm saying. But I think because I did hurt it, and then I just worked on top of it, and just got really strong in that kind of position where it was sort of calcified up a bit. So yeah, it's strong, but it doesn't necessarily mean you got full range and things like that. That's the thing.
Yep.
So I don't know, what was the question?
No, that's all good, man. We'll
build it up.
Was this prior to you being a practitioner and treating then, or was it in the midst of it all?
In the midst, yeah. I think in the first couple of years I heard it, and then I've just healed it back so strong, and it's had this probably strong with calcium and scar tissue in there as well, and that joint sort of I need to kind of mobilise it and things like that. But I think because it has been got the scar tissue on it, it has been really strong just to do these pins that I do.
Yep.
So yeah, it's an interesting one.
So for those that are following, you're probably thinking you're not really treating much muscle, and that's okay. We don't have to treat the muscle. All in here, we've got our tendons that attach onto these joints, and these tendons are white, and that stuff doesn't have the same blood supply like our muscle here does, or our bicep, or our deltoid, or our forearm extensors. So working into this area is making sure that we're sending a message to our brain, to our body, that we want to send rejuvenated blood, oxygen and cells to heal this tendon and to heal this joint. And that's what essentially we're doing. It has this therapeutic feeling during, and then afterwards you're going to feel really free, and it's going to feel really good, hopefully. It should. So I'm just working different angles. It might not look like much behind the screen, but I can feel the different shapes of the bone. There's pointy bits, there's a flat spot there, there's more of I can feel like stuff's a bit like sandpaper under there. I can feel it sort of grinding away, and that's what I'm enjoying doing, is just cleaning that, sandpapering or filing that joint, breaking down those little bits of calcium. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So as practitioners, we're always looking to work on our own hands. I'm sort of doing this stuff between clients, and in the car I'm getting my wrist going and all of that sort of stuff. It's important. These are our tools. If we forget our hammer or our drill and we've got to build a frame, or a carpenter, we're going to be pretty useless. If we didn't have our thumbs, we'd be pretty useless. So it's important to look after ourselves. If you have sore thumbs, you might be somebody that's in the gym, or you might be a tradie that's hit their own thumb, or injured at playing basketball or footy. Make sure you do give this a go on yourself, but also make sure you've got that connection with a practitioner. We've got locations here in Richmond and Ferntree Gully, so if you're nearby, don't hesitate. Just book in. Travel far. If you live in Port Douglas, come down, come on.
Yeah.
We'll sort you out.
We have people travel, don't they?
Yeah.
They know that they're going to get a certain level of treatment, so there's no guesswork. A lot of times you go and get treatment done, it's you're just hoping really it's going to work. So with us, we kind of take that guesswork out. We kind of know that it's going to be results.
Yeah.
This is what the body needs.
Yeah, well, we had a guy yesterday that had travelled from the States, last week that had travelled from the States, and he was actually visiting Sydney, but he had to come to Melbourne just to visit MMT. So that was pretty encouraging to hear that people value our work so highly that they have to visit Melbourne all the way from the other side of the world just to get an MMT experience.
Yeah.
And of course we look after those. We look after all our clients, but if you've travelled that far, we're going to go that little extra mile to just make sure your experience is amazing.
Yeah. And you might be starting to see on our YouTube with all our team. We've always had a good team, but I suppose we've got the main characters have been doing the videos, but now we're trying to encourage everyone in the business to show, present, what they do and their philosophies, and get their personalities
out there.
Yeah. So so watch out for the rest of the crew, the rest of the videos. Get to know them all. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's good, man.
We have a total of 15 of us. 15 staff here, so there's lots of people doing good work, fixing people.
Yeah. And it's growing too. We've got a few extra people that are doing our online course, and then going to work with us in the future. So we'll expand again. I think that the really thing that I like is we just have that family-like thing. So we really connect in with every single person that works in our business.
Yep.
We know them.
Yep.
Know them well, but we have regular connection, regular contact, and that's one of the things we really
pride ourselves on.
Yeah, it's just in person, physically present. You know, same one message goes to everybody type of thing, and we also kind of want to learn together, develop together, and share food and
train together.
Physically train. Sprints, lifts, or breath work, or whatever it might be.
Eat together.
Yeah. So it's a way to build a good tribe.
Yeah. Build a family. The little things, they all add up. They all count to create good culture.
Yeah.
Good connection. It can't be rushed. Can't be forced. It's got to be natural or organic, and that's what it's taken Ninja all these years and myself and the other guys to build a force to be reckoned with. We're slowly changing the world, one MMT practitioner at a time.
Yeah. You kind of don't realise how far you can reach, especially with internet these days. You can reach people all around the world. So even if you're just reaching somebody that's local, that can still have a long effect, on their family and their friends and their work and their school or whatever it might be. So that gesture, that act where you're kind of plumbing somebody and caring for somebody, that can go a long way. So, and we're just trying to spread it, and it's a noble message we're trying to spread. Yeah. It's simple, but it's get out there and.
So I'm working a bit more into the actual, I think it's our thalamus, which is the more dense part of our thumb, the bigger, bulkier. It's like a little glute, but on our hand. Bit of a bum on your hand, and that's the denser tissue. So if you're playing along, you can feel that it's squidgy. It might be really firm on you, but it just feels really good to get it treated. Yeah. I can feel right now my left one is fatiguing and getting sore, and so I know that me treating this, how good it would feel on me. It must feel nice on Ninja. You can see that's the muscle I'm using, that little guy in there. So I'm gonna start at the underneath the thumb now.
Yep, you can see it.
And work all the way down, nice and slow. Probably got a little bit too much wax. The more wax, the more superficial you're going to be. So if you want to go deep, use less wax.
We even use no wax times too, don't we?
Yep.
Certain times when we just really want to pin something and stay on it. We don't want to slip at all. And just the natural, the heat, friction that goes a little bit, but yeah.
I've got a nice little money spot in there where my thumb isn't sort of sliding or moving. I feel like I can even use the more tip of my thumb to get deeper in between those tendons.
Feels good.
Yeah, and I'm feeling the bones underneath my hands as well. So I'm at that depth that is bone deep. And that's where you're going to be the most effective.
Wow, that's so
good.
Yeah. Good, Darcy.
Little bit of a tip. I'm reinforcing my own hand here and forearm. Don't know if that's just giving me a little bit more purchase, a little bit more strength.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just supporting my posture as well.
Yeah, you can see that Darcy's got a good strong line there for his thumb.
Yeah.
His thumb's not bent, so it's not going to put stress on his joint, or limit it anyway. Whoa, that's a good spot there, brother.
So double thumb just to reinforce, go deep.
Whoa,
yeah,
that's it.
That's it. That's the most important piece of communication that we can have or connection during is that's it. You can spend 43 minutes of your hour session and it's taken that long to find it, but hopefully we get there quicker. But that's when you know.
Whoa, that's it.
Yeah, you're on the money.
Good, man.
Doing God's work.
Yeah. Right. Whoa.
So what's that feel like, man? Does that radiate? Does it go into the thumb? Is it just local?
Hard to describe this stuff. It just feels, you just know, just at bone level, man. Like, I think that's where the deepest healing happens, is when you kind of can get into that bone level and shift stuff and change it, because that's where the attachment is, the origin is of the suffering, the pain. So yeah, I just knew when you were hooking onto those things that it was in a good manner. It was the right spots, the right angles. It was clearing my stuff. Wow.
I'm going to show you one more technique as my thumbs start to fatigue and I got to look after them. And use the pointy part of my elbow. Go slow, connect into that same spot, and then just get a bit. I've got a nice bruise there. Look at that one.
Oh. Woody.
There we go.
Yeah.
So just looking after my own thumbs and just showing you different
ways
to be effective.
As soon as you just did that little angle change, man, it just hooked straight into it.
So I can work.
Whoa, man. So good.
My favourite spot in the whole hand, I think it just has this meridian spot. It sort of unleashes blood flow all the way through. Carpal tunnel sufferers, you'll know it. Just straight in the middle. I'll finish on this guy.
That's it, come on.
I like to just push. A bit like our video that Ninja just did on my heel. You can feel there's this innate response that I know that there's a bit of a bony spot in there that I can just push into, dissolve, melt away. It's going to be effective. Maybe I can work it that way. Different angle changes, different amounts of pressure. Our hands obviously have a lot of different receptors. More than other parts of our body, so there's lots of different sensations and build-ups and nerve endings that are in this area. So we can affect the forearm, we can affect the hand and have flow-on effects into the forearm. Affect the thumb and maybe it's causing a headache or
who knows?
Who knows? Sometimes you don't need to know. Just be effective with what you're doing and deliver the best treatment you can.
Find the spots.
Work
them. That's it. It's good, man.
And slowly sink out. Cool. How's that feeling?
Good, man. Magic.
Well, thanks for watching, guys. That was just a hand treatment for any practitioners out there with sore hands, or just any of you that might have carpal tunnel, thumb pain, whatever it is. Make sure you book in with one of our practitioners. Come and see us in Richmond or Ferntree Gully, and yeah, one of our practitioners will help you out. Done.